Title: The Moose Who Moved to the City from Forest to Freeway Opening, seen deep in the peaceful forest. Meet Monty, a gentle, slightly clumsy moose, who dreams of something more than pine cones and quiet streams. Monty loves stories about the city. Bustling streets, shiny lights, and ... pizza. Monty to his squirrel friend. Nutters, one day, I'm gonna see the city for myself, I want adventure. Monty's decision. Tired of forest life, Monty packs a backpack filled with snacks, a map, and his lucky antler charm. He says goodbye to Nutters and the other forest friends. Monty arrives in the city. Monty steps off the bus onto a busy city sidewalk. Skyscrapers tower overhead. Taxis zoom by, and people rush everywhere. Monty causes a bit of chaos. He accidentally blocks a crosswalk. He mistakes a fire hydrant for a snack. He bumps into a hot dog stand, sending sausages flying. Meet city friends. Monty befriends a street-smart pigeon named Pip and a kind-hearted kid named Ella, who loves animals and helps Monty navigate city life. Moose in the machine-learning city life. Monty tries to fit in. He rides a scooter awkwardly. He tries ordering pizza but doesn't understand extra cheese. He visits the zoo and feels out of place surrounded by caged animals. Monty's new Jabella convinces Monty to work at her family's food truck, Ella's Eats. Monty's size causes hilarious problems, bumping over tables, making giant food portions, but his kindness wins customers over. Trouble in the city, i.e. rival food truck owner, Mr. Frankie, wants Ella's business shut down. He plans to get the city's health inspector involved. Monty overhears Mr. Frankie's scheme and vows to help Ella save the food truck. Monty's big idea. Monty decides to enter the city's annual food fest cooking contest with Ella's secret recipe. Moose on the move, preparing for the contest. Monty trains in the kitchen with Ella, learning to cook without knocking things over. Pip scouts out Mr. Frankie's tricks and warns them of sneaky sabotage attempts. The food fest showdown. Monty and Ella face off against Mr. Frankie in a wild, messy cook-off filled with flying runaway carts and lots of laughs. Monty's unique moose skills, like fetching huge ingredients with his antlers, impress the judges. Victory and friendship, and Monty win the contest. Mr. Frankie grudgingly admits defeat and even offers a truce. Monty decides the city is a wild but wonderful new home. He and Ella open a new food truck called Moose on the Move. Closing scene: Monty, Pip, Ella, and Nutters, who visits from the forest, share pizza under city lights. Monty smiling. Who knew the city was the best adventure of all? Asterisk, thank you.
Please subscribe to Chex Comedy.
Title: The Baby Who Knew Kung Fu. A very kicky beginning. Opening scene: peaceful suburb. Birds chirp, dogs bark. But inside one cozy house, total chaos. Furniture flipped, toys flying, parents panicking. In the middle of it all, baby Kai, 1-year-old, in a diaper and headband, delivering perfect kung fu moves, in slow motion. Voiceover: Mom. This is our son Kai. He's adorable, he's snuggly, and oh yeah, he knows kung fu. How it all started. Flashback: a mysterious scroll floats into baby Kai's crib during a thunderstorm. He bites it, and something awakens. The next day, he's dodging rattles, jumping over bouncers, and swaddling the family dog in a triangle choke. His parents, Sandy and Jeff, try everything to calm him down. Lullabies, toys, goat yoga. Nothing works. They hide his skills from the world, especially from their nosy neighbor, Ms. Crinkle, a retired ninja hunter. Kindergarten tryouts. Sandy and Jeff finally enroll Kai in Tiny Tots daycare. It goes great, until another baby takes his pudding. Cue Kai flipping into a triple spin baby kick, still holding his bottle. The daycare calls immediately. Your child just pressure pointed the janitor. The real threat emerges: a gang of petty thieves led by Big Barry is casing the neighborhood. Their next target? Kai's home. They've heard rumors of a rare ancient scroll inside, but they don't know The baby bites back. Crawling into trouble training. Time Sandy and Jeff take Kai to an old dojo they found online. Master Noodle's Kung Fu for Kids. Master Noodle, a tiny wise old man who lives in a noodle truck, sees the baby's potential. This one already walks the path and occasionally eats it. Funny training montage. Kai doing slow-motion kicks with a pacifier in, blocking flying carrots. Diaper change dodge drills, practicing stealth crawling across squeaky floors. Neighbor. Suspicion M's. Crinkle becomes suspicious. She sets up cameras, booby traps, and even disguises herself as a baby. Kai always spots her. He bows, she faceplants. The heist begins. Big Barry and his gang break into the house while the parents are on a grocery run. They search for the scroll but run into stuffed animals rigged as traps. Baby Monitor hacking Kai using diapers as smoke bombs. Big Barry captures Kai in a playpen. You're just a baby. What are you gonna do? Cry? Baby Kai blinks once, then spins, jumps, and breaks free. The final showdown, Kai versus Barry's gang in the backyard. It's a full-on kung fu face-off. Kai versus Muscle Mike. Giant guy with jelly in his pockets. Kai versus Sneaky Tina. Tries to out-sneak him, fails. Kai versus Big Barry. Uses a leaf blower, bad idea. Every move Kai uses is baby-themed. Pacifier strikes. Diaper throws, mobile nunchucks. Master Noodle appears, cheering from his noodle truck. Let the noodle within guide you. Parents return. Sandy and Jeff arrive to find the yard in ruins, thieves wrapped in diapers, and Kai sitting peacefully, drinking from a bottle. The scroll glows one last time and vanishes in sparkles. Miss Crinkle appears in a jetpack. I knew it! The prophecy is real, but he's just too cute. She retires for good. Final scene. Kai returns to Tiny Tot's daycare, this time as the peaceful protector. He only uses his kung fu when needed, like catching falling sippy cups, or protecting snack time. Voiceover. Our baby may be the world's tiniest kung fu master, but to us, he's still just our little Kai. Zoom out on Kai asleep, doing a perfect kung fu pose in his crib. A single rubber duck lands beside him. Thank you.
Please subscribe to Chex Comedy.
Title: King Kevin the Couch Cushion * the Throne Room opening scene inside an average suburban house. The living room is quiet. Until the family leaves for school and work, the second the front door closes the furniture comes alive. Meet Kevin, plush, squishy, slightly dented couch cushion who rules the living room kingdom from his spot on the sofa throne. Kevin royal voiceover. They call me King Kevin, ruler of the recliners, guardian of the remote, and flattener of crumbs. The living room kingdom were introduced to his subjects, Lady Lampington, a snobby floor lamp who believes she's better than everyone because she's enlightened. Sir Barks-a-Lot, the squeaky Chutoy knight with a big ego, and Tiny Armsedoman the Wise, an ancient footrest with a slow drawl and endless story. Prince Pilowina, a dreamy throw pillow who's secretly crushing on Kevin. They all live in harmony, ruling over the land of living room, which includes the rug forest, the toy basket caves, and the forbiddens under the couch zone. Trouble. RSSPin's peaceful rule is disrupted when a new cushion arrives. Victor, a sleek memory foam import from a fancy chair upstairs. Victor thinks he should be king. Victor, a real cushion, conforms, not just to bodies but to power. He challenges Kevin to a royal squish-off to win the throne. Kevin accepts the challenge with his royal pride wounded. Kevin declares, so be it. Let the great cushion games begin. Cue trumpet fanfare from a kazoo. The cushion games competitions begin, hosted by remote control Bob, who's very forgetful and always disappears. The living room holds its first cushion games. The sit test. Kevin endures a plopping toddler. Victor stays perfectly shaped. The crumb shake. Kevin releases a shower of crackers. Victor, spotless. The jumping contest. The kid's cat bounces off them. Kevin flattens. Victor rebounds like a trampoline. Kevin is clearly losing. Kevin's crisis. Kevin starts to doubt himself. He's old. He's faded. His corners are a little frayed. He sulks in the blanket fort, wondering if his reign is over. Encouragement from Frankie tells Kevin the story of the Grey Couch Wars, how Kevin once saved a Lego village from the vacuum cleaner. Princess Pillowina fluffs him up and says, "You may not be fancy ... but you're real. You've seen snacks. You've felt naps. You've heard family movie night. That's what makes a real king." Victor's plan revealed Victor isn't just competing. He's secretly working with the basement furniture, a group of forgotten beanbags and dusty footstools led by Baron Bean, who wants to invade the living room. They've got a plan to flip the couch and banish Kevin into the basement. The living room war invasion begins while the family is out. The basement furniture floods in. Victor declares himself king and throws Kevin off the couch. Baron Bean gloats, "Soon we shall rule the upstairs and eat all the stale popcorn beneath the cushions." Kevin rallies the room with his crown crooked and his stuffing ruffled. Kevin gives a rousing speech. "We may be worn. We may be lumpy, but we are the heart of this home." Kevin, Sir Barksalot, Pillowina, and even Lady Lampington charge into battle. Lamps blast light beams, pillows fly through the air. Remote Bob mutes a beanbag. Epic comedy battle. Kevin and Victor have a final duel, flipping, flopping, squishing, stretching. Kevin uses his signature sink and swivel move to trap Victor between the couch cracks. Victor yells, "I can't conform to this." The kingdom is savage. Family returns, finds the room slightly rearranged but cozy again. Kevin is placed back on the couch. Victor is reassigned to the garage. Final scene. Kevin snuggles into place as a kid plops down and sighs, "Ah, this cushion's the best." Voiceover, "It's good to be king, even if you're covered in cat hair. Thank you."
Please subscribe to Chex Comedy.
Title: Gnomes on the Go. Lawn and order opening scene. A quiet suburban neighborhood at sunrise. Lawns sparkle with dew sprinklers. His dots zoom in on a garden where dozens of ceramic gnomes stand frozen. Suddenly, ding, a school bus passes by and the gnomes spring to life. Meet our hero, Nugget, a pint-sized gnome with a red hat too big for his head and an obsession with adventure. Nugget narrating, "People think we just stand still, but once they leave, we go." The Gnome Society meet the quirky residents of Gnomington, a secret mobile gnome village hidden inside front yards. Characters include Granny Mossbeard, the oldest gnome, part-time DJ. Flint, the muscle-bound security gnomie with a garden rake weapon, Petal, Nugget's clever inventor best friend who makes gadgets from lawn debris. Sir Dandelion, and night riding a snail. Gnomie rule number 1, never leave the lawn. Humans must never see them move, but Nugget is different. He dreams of exploring the great beyond. Anywhere past the sidewalk. The Catalystone Night, a lawnmower rampage accidentally catapults Nugget and his friends Petal, Flint, and Sir Dandelion into a neighboring yard. They're far from home, and the humans are waking up. Nugget gasps, "We've broken rule number 1. We're off lawn." From porch to pavement, the mission they gang realizes they have only until sunset to get back home before the great human BBQ begins in Gnomington's yard, aka their annual party. Their journey must stay hidden and on foot. Nugget, this is no longer just a lawn trip. It's a gnome run. Obstacle 1, the sidewalk. Crossing a busy sidewalk full of scooters, tricycles, and nosy dogs. Petal deploys a leaf glider to carry them across, but it crashes into a sandbox castle. Cue epic battle with a toddler wielding a juice box. Obstacle 2, the Garden of Doom. They enter a fancy yard ruled by snobbish porcelain elves who think gnomes are dirty lawn folk. Sir Dandelion challenges them to a duel on mushrooms. He wins by tickling the elf with a dandelion puff. Meanwhile, the villain emerges back in Gnomington. Mayor Gravelbunts, an uptight gnomie who hates fun, learns that Nugget has left the lawn. No gnome has ever crossed the curb and returned. "We must declare him ... officially the lawn." He plots to cancel the BBQ and lock down all movement. Motionless is happiness. Obstacle 3, the storm drain slide. Our heroes get caught in a thunderstorm and fall into a storm drain. It becomes a high-speed slide through tunnels of gross leaves, buds, and lost flip-flops. Flint uses a bottle cap as a sled. Pedal pilots a paper boat. Nugget leads them using a glowworm helmet. Turning Pointy Pop out into a new yard. It's a wild garden with free roaming, dancing gnomes. Nugget meets Nomad, a wise gnome traveler who tells him, home isn't where you're planted. It's where you stand proudly, even if that's on a weird mushroom. Inspired, Nugget realizes they can make it back if they gnome up and break a few rules. Gnome again. Naturalist Against Time Gang constructs a wild mobile garden cart powered by soda fizz, rubber bands, and snail mucus. They zoom through backyards, dodge sprinklers, escape a cat chase, and launch off a trampoline. May or Gravelpins tries to shut down the barbecue by destroying the grill. The showdown 6065 MIN. Nugget returns just in time, crash into the barbecue, and stands tall while wobbly. I went offline and lived. We're not statues, we're stories. The gnome crowd gasps, then cheers. Gravelpins is booted literally into a rain boot. The BBQ is back on. Nuggets for everyone, vegetarian ones, of course. Final scene 6570 MIN. Nugget is declared the new Explorer General of the lawn. He sets up tiny trail signs, a travel agency for curious gnomes, and a new slogan, Go Gnome or Go Home. The camera zooms out to show all the gnomes dancing under fairy lights, while humans obliviously roast marshmallows nearby. Thank you.
Please subscribe to Chex Comedy.
Title: Frankie, the Fearless Feather. A feather is born. Opening scene: a peaceful farm at sunrise. Chickens cluck, cows moo, and somewhere in a coop, a fluffy little chick sneezes. With the sneeze, poof. One tiny feather flutters off into the air. That's our hero, Frankie, a sentient feather with big dreams and an even bigger imagination. Frankie's voiceover, enthusiastic. Some say I'm just fluff. But I say I'm the stuff of legends. How he got here, Frankie was shed from Cluck Norris, the toughest rooster on the farm. But unlike his source, Frankie's full of wonder, curiosity, and zero sense of direction. Blown away by a breeze, Frankie embarks on his own journey, sailing through the air into the big, bustling Featherville city. Frankie's abilities: we see Frankie navigate the city using only wind currents, fans, air vents, and pigeons. He's small, nimble, and incredibly brave, especially for a piece of poultry fluff. He dreams of being a hero like the ones in comic books he once landed on, but everyone laughs at him. You're just a feather. Go back to your pillow. Who let a dust bunny talk? The threat revealed. Meanwhile, across town, the villainous Mayor McMuffin, a greasy, egotistical breakfast sandwich, plans to turn the city into a giant waffle factory, destroying all natural parks and pigeon hangouts. Frankie overhears this. While stuck to a lawyer's pant leg in City Hall, this is my chance to fly. Into action. Rising currents, Frankie builds a team. Realizing he can't stop the mayor alone, Frankie gathers a quirky team of underdogs. Gilda, a grumpy but wise pigeon grandma with perfect aim. Breezy, a nerdy box fan from a recycling bin who dreams of greatness. Dusty, a sarcastic ball of lint with a secret poetic side. Benny the balloon, nervous, squeaky, but full of hot air and heart. Training montage: Frankie learns to ride elevator drafts. The gang practices aerial stunts in a laundromat. Breezy launches Frankie like a cannonball. Frankie: we may be fluff in parts, but together, we're a force. The first confrontation. The team infiltrates McMuffin Tower, trying to delete the waffle factory plans. They're almost caught, but manage to cause chaos, knocking over syrup tanks and jamming a waffle printer. Mayor McMuffin's assistant, Eggsy, a fried egg with monocle, warns the mayor, "Sir, we've got a rogue feather in the ventilation ducts." The Great Gust disaster strikes. Mayor McMuffin activates his final plan, the Syrup Cyclone 3000, a machine that will flood Featherville with syrup, trapping everyone in sticky doom. Frankie's team tries to stop it, but they're outnumbered by McMuffin's breakfast-themed security bots, waffle iron drones, toast tanks, and evil coffee cups. Frankie almost quits stuck under a giant pancake. Frankie feels defeated. I'm just a feather. I can't change anything. Gilda, wheezing. Kid, even the softest thing can blow a storm when it believes. The final plan, Frankie uses Breezy and a citywide fan network to create a massive updraft. He flies into the syrup cyclone, dodging toast lasers, spinning into the machine's core. With a mighty poof, he clogs the syrup valve with Dusty, overloads the system, and K.A. boom. The factory plant explodes into waffles and applause. Mayor McMuffin is flattened by a pancake billboard. He's arrested by the Breakfast Crime Bureau. Yes, that's a thing. Final scene, Frankie is hailed a hero. A statue of him, made of floss and glitter, is built in Featherville Park. Voiceover. So yeah, I'm just a feather, but I learned that even the lightest thing can carry the heaviest. Hope. Frankie sails off into the sky, catching the breeze toward a new adventure. Thank you.
Please subscribe to Chex Comedy. Title: Detective Duck and the Missing Pond. The mystery begins. Opening scene. A bright and sunny morning in Featherfield Park. Animals are waking up, stretching, chirping, and quacking. Detective Duck, a self-proclaimed sleuth in a trench coat, hat and rubber ducky badge, quacks dramatically into a mirror while practicing, "I always get my goose." Or duck or frog. Whatever. Intro to characters: Detective Duck. Dramatic. A bit clueless but lucky. Shelly the Turtle, his calm, brainy sidekick. Mayor Gooseby, nervous goose who runs the park. Ribbit Brothers, two prank-loving frogs. Wanda the Beaver, always building, always loud. Clucky the Chicken, very excitable, very paranoid. The Incident. Detective Duck waddles to his favorite swimming hole, and it's gone. No water, just mud and confused fish flopping around. Duck gasps, "Someone has stolen my pond." A clear case of pond napping. Cue dramatic zooms, lightning crash on a sunny day. Mayor Gooseby panics. "This could ruin the annual Splash Bash." Duck declares, "Don't worry, everyone. I, Detective Duck, will crack the case like an egg." Investigation. Begins. Duck and Shelly start interviewing suspects and collecting clues, which include wet footprints shaped like bananas, a missing hose trail of breadcrumbs leading nowhere, quacky clues and wild theories montage of misdirection. Ribbit Brothers claim innocence but lead Duck on a ridiculous goose chase involving water balloons and soap slides. Wanda the Beaver insists she didn't borrow the pond for a new dam. "Only took a splash, swear on my tail." Duck accuses himself at one point. "What if I sleepwalked it away?" Comic bits. Duck gets stuck in a mailbox. Mistakes. A mirror for a suspicious suspect. Dramatic flashbacks with over-the-top noir narration. It was a dry day, too dry. Shelly keeps solving clues correctly, but Duck misinterprets them hilariously. Midpoint twist, they find a giant blueprint in Wanda's treehouse. Park pipe project, secret waterworks. Shelly: "I think there's a whole underground pipe system under the park." Duck: "Aha! The pond has been kidnapped. Underground." Underground adventure. They crawl through silly tunnels, pass through an old squirrel disco, and end up in the old gopher district, a forgotten part of the park. They find a gopher named Gary who confesses, "I just rerouted a little water to build my underground spa." "Didn't know it was your pond." Plot twist: Gary shows the rerouting was accidental. The real culprit? Clucky the Chicken, who thought aliens were using the pond to communicate and pulled the emergency park drainage lever. Clucky panicking. They were sending duck signals. Saving the Splash Bash, the race against time. The annual Splash Bash is starting in an hour. Duck and friends must restore the pond water, fix the underground pipes, stop Clucky from pulling more levers. Funny montage. Wanda builds a dam launcher. Shelly does pipe math. Duck tries to swim but ends up stuck in a kiddie pool. The Ribbit Brothers DJ the effort with dance music, grand fix, and celebration. The pond returns. Water rushes back in just in time for the big event. Duck cannonballs into the water, flips his. Hat and lands in a floaty, everyone cheers. Clucky apologizes while wearing a tinfoil hat. Mayor Gooseby. Detective Duck, you saved the day. Duck, posing. All in a day's quack, case closed. Epilogue. That night, Duck writes in his detective journal, Featherfield Park is safe again, but mysteries don't sleep, and neither do I, because Shelley snores. Zoom out as the camera pans over a peaceful, splashy park, with fish, ducks, and animals dancing at the splash bash. Please subscribe to Chex Comedy.
Title: Dad, You Shrunk the Mailman, the shrinking mess opening scene in a cozy suburban home. Dad is an eccentric inventor tinkering in his cluttered garage. He's been working on a new device called the Minimizer, a shrink ray, he claims, will revolutionize deliveries. His kids, Max 10, curious, and Lila 8. Smart and sassy. Watch nervously, Dad. Just a few more tweaks, and I'll make mail delivery easier than ever. Mailman Pete arrives with the day's letters. Dad offers to demonstrate the Minimizer on a mailbox, but in the chaos, Dad accidentally shrinks Mailman Pete himself. Pete, tiny and bewildered. Hey, what the? I'm tiny. Max and Leela scrambled to catch the tiny mailman, who runs off into the house. Mini Mailman mayhem. The search begins. Max and Leela try to catch Pete, who's dodging vacuum cleaners, house cats, and giant humans. They learn Pete's tiny perspective is full of dangers, riding on a toy train track like a real railroad, escaping puddles that are now lakes. Pete's tiny voice is full of humor and frustration. Pete, I've delivered thousands of letters, but never one this small. Dad scrambles to fix the Minimize. Dad builds a gadget to reverse the shrinking, but it needs a rare part from the local gadget garage. The kids and Pete team up. Max, Lila, and Tiny Pete venture outside on a quest to get the part. They sneak through gardens, crawl under fences, and avoid the family dog, Sparky. Pete bonds with the kids, sharing funny stories about his mail route adventures. Obstacle, the neighborhood obstacle course. From the ground, the world is a jungle. Sprinkler hoses, rollerblading kids, and rogue birds. They narrowly escape a crow who thinks Pete is a snack. The Big Fix and Bigger Heart final challenge at the gadget garage. The owner, Ms. Sparks, agrees to help, but only if Pete can deliver a letter inside the huge building first. Thank you. Pete dashes through aisles, rides a skateboard, and outsmarts a robotic vacuum. Reversing the Minimizer with the part in hand, Dad fixes the Minimizer. Pete is restored to normal size with a puff of smoke. Heartfelt ending. Pete thanks Max and Lila. He promises to always be careful with packages, especially around crazy inventions. Dad vows to make less mini mistakes. The family waves as Pete hops back on his mail truck. Closing scene. Pete rides off, waving a tiny flag. Big thanks to the mini team.
Please subscribe to Chex Comedy.